On my walk this morning, I was thinking a lot about loneliness because it's one of the things that people ask a lot about in this lifestyle. And someone asked me yesterday, they said, I imagine it's quite a lonely life. And this isn't the first time that I've reflected on loneliness. And just my walks in the morning are just a way to just turn things over in my head, think about them. And I understand how it can look like a lonely life. But what I've come to realize is that I feel like every life has its chapters of loneliness. And no matter if you are staying in one place or if you are moving around the world like I do, I feel like loneliness is, for me at least, it's more of a mental state rather than a having anything to do with the atmosphere around me. I have felt, you know, some of my loneliest times while I was surrounded by people. I don't think that that for me is a big draw to be around people um just to escape loneliness. And it's interesting because right now, I'm on my walk. I'm like, do I feel lonely? Do I feel lonely right now? How am I feeling? I'm like, no, I feel really, really good. And I thought to myself, what is that about? Why are you feeling good right now? And I feel like I'm finally, finally in my 40s, arriving at a point where I understand that, filling oneself up comes from within. And for me right now, I am focusing on a simple life, a peaceful life, a lot of calm in my life. I am turning down a lot of social invitations. I want to be alone, but I don't feel lonely because it comes from doing the thing, like the sensation of not being lonely for me comes from having things that I enjoy, which for me right now is the simplicity, is the calm, is the peace. My morning walks are just medicine for my soul right now. I have work that is really important to me right now. And I am taking a lot of joy. I'm finding a lot of joy in the little things, and the little things are all around. So, just noticing I've got a palm tree right outside my window, so just noticing if it's windy or not based on the way that the tree is swaying back and forth, or looking out at the mountains, which are right outside my window, and, is it cloudy? Can I, not see the mountains? Are they covered in fog? Or is it a clear day like today where I can see all the way up to the peak of the mountain? A few times in the last week, there was snow on top of the mountain, so just noticing all these little things, and when we start to look for little things that make us happy, they're everywhere. It's, just the bird song right now that I can hear in the background, or seeing the butterflies outside as I just sat after my walk. There's just like all these little things that are making me feel good, and I don't feel like I need um external company or people around to fill me up. So that's good. That being said, I mean, I do like it at times. Like I was on my walk today and friends went by on their bikes and just said hi real quick, and it was just so like that snippet of a moment. One moment I'm walking lost in my thoughts, and the next moment I'm hearing my name called out and just waving and saying hi, and then it was 10 seconds maybe, but it just like, oh, that feels good. That'll keep me going for a long time. But, you know, I have had chapters for sure of loneliness. But each time I reflect on that, I kind of think to myself, well, what do I need? And it usually ends up being what I'm missing out on is the feeling of connection with other people. And for me, that doesn't have to come from staying in one place and being around people, because there have been times in my life where I've lived in one place and I remember feeling so alone because no one um, thought like me or was interested in the same things that I was interested in. And so I'd be at a social gathering and I'm just dying inside while I'm trying to go through all the motions of what's expected as a social gathering, but we're talking about surface level things. And I realize that, and it's come over time, but I realize that I'm not really a surface level person. And so I like to talk about deep topics and really things that are interesting to me and other people when I meet those people that we click with and we can talk about those deep things. that kind of interaction will take away my loneliness for a long time because it'll just feel like, wow, someone gets me. Someone gets me and I get them and we connected. This is amazing. Whereas I can go to 10 other events and not connect with anybody on that level, and I just feel lonelier than if I'd stayed home alone. And I've come to realize as I've gotten older that those are kind of I understand that it can be, you don't want to hang around people and talk about deep stuff all the time. It's exhausting. But I used to feel like I needed to be around people more and that there was something wrong with me for not being around them more. But I've realized now, like, no, that's my rhythm. Be around people, and we're either comfortably coexisting in silence or, doing something. Or I like to be alone. And that's okay. But for me, when I ask people about, what makes you think it's a lonely life? What makes you think that? And they're just like, well, the moving all the time and not having your close friends around you and not having your, family around you or not having a community or roots where you belong. I've definitely felt that at times. But when I search my own mind for how could I do this different? Where could I move to? Where could I put down roots? That place has not come to me yet. And I don't think that setting down roots somewhere is necessarily a guarantee of community, of people around you that are with you. Because, I think of one of my friends, for example, who has become a mother in the past couple of years. Even if I was living 10 minutes from her, I wouldn't see her as much. She's busy in a different chapter of her life that is so different from the chapter when we met, where we could just, hey, you want to go get a coffee? Hey, do you want to go do this thing? Hey, I'm going to this thing. We're going out. We're doing things. We're at things. We're going to dinner and having these conversations in person. That's just not happening right now. Even if I was living, right beside her. But we have adapted it in different ways. We have a weekly or bi-weekly call where we catch up, and we are very close. I think closer than I've been to a lot of people that I've lived near back in my old life. Um, but it does come with its moments. But I think that one of the things that it's taught me is that I am much stronger than I ever thought possible. I am capable of things. When I get lonely, I can take care of myself and I can give myself the things that I need. And those are invaluable lessons that I don't feel like I would have learned if I hadn't struck out on this life. But overall, I think life is about appreciating what you've got while you've got it. And that's something I didn't do when I was younger, but I've become acutely aware as I've gotten older that states change and states change very often. So right now, while I am comfortable and happy and in a place where, I am alone, but I don't feel that loneliness, I'm so, so grateful for it because I know that it can be fleeting. And I know that, I don't know what life holds. There may come a time when I'm feeling deep loneliness again, but I've got the knowledge to get myself through that, I feel like, because I will always be able to look back at this chapter and go, there are times when you feel great and there are going to be times when you're low, but you will get back up to that high point. So, I don't know. I would be interested to hear your thoughts, because I think that loneliness is something that we tend to look down upon and run away from. But I think there's valuable lessons to be learned in it. And you know, as I'm thinking through scenarios right now, I can't imagine any life without some pieces of loneliness, some chapters, some seasons of loneliness. And I don't think that's a bad thing. I don't think that's a bad thing. I truly think that it is a time for deep reflection and deep lessons being learned and to teach us um what we really need for ourselves. And hopefully we come out of those seasons and put those things in place for ourselves. And hopefully the seasons get shorter and shorter and shorter. But loneliness, I don't think is to be confused with being alone because I absolutely adore being alone. Solitude is something that is very, very near and dear to my heart. And um yeah, I'm just so grateful right now to be in this period of solitude and being alone and enjoy it.